And we're back. Hello everyone. I am Joshua William Gelb and welcome to the Theater in Quarantine. It is Monday, October 5th, and it's 7 o'clock here in New York City. Thank you for tuning in and joining me for a very special volume of Closet Works presented by the Invisible Dog Arts Center with additional support from Mamie Kanfer and Justin Stewart. It's very special because tonight we are launching our most ambitious season to date. That's to say we're launching a second season with over 6 world premieres in 3 months with shows every 2 weeks until December 14th. We're going to be collaborating with the likes of Madeline George, Heather Christian, Raja Feather Kelly, Alex Fahlberg, Eric Berryman, Sunny Hitt, and many more. So make sure you subscribe to the Theater in Quarantine YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of our shows this season. You can also join our Facebook page, Theater in Quarantine, and make sure to tag your favorite screenshots of tonight's show on Instagram at Theater in Quarantine. It's been a little over 6 months since I converted the closet behind me. It measures about 4 feet wide by 8 feet tall and only 2 feet deep into a white box digital performance laboratory, which we've come to call the Theater in Quarantine. With creative director Katie Rose Mclaughlin, we've been expanding our roster of collaborators as well as working with institutional supporters, Invisible Dog Arts Center, Theater Me Too as part of their expansion work series, La Mama Experimental Theater Club, and Culture Hub as part of their Experiments in Digital Storytelling program. We have even more to announce soon, so I can't wait to share what we have in store for you. Now, tonight's performance runs about 20 minutes, and afterwards I'll be hanging around with my fellow collaborators, Katie Rose Mclaughlin and guest choreographer Francisco Graciano, to answer any questions you might have, so make sure to drop them in the comments section. Now, below, in the description, you'll find a link for our Fractured Atlas page where you can make a donation. All donations go directly to tonight's collaborators, so please consider helping support this work and these artists who made the work possible. Well, we hope to continue bringing you Theater in Quarantine for free, but theater, even on the smallest scale, isn't cheap. So thank you for your support on any level. Lastly, a reminder that what you're about to see isn't Zoom theater. It isn't a dance film. This is live performance right in this closet behind me. So let's get started. I am going to take a brief 1-minute break so I can get into places. Thanks again, and enjoy Closet Works, Volume 5, presented by the Invisible Dog Art Center. Don't tell me. Do me a favor and let me guess. Be honest with me, tell the truth, don't make me laugh, tell me. Don't make me have to tell you. Do I have to tell you that when you're hot, that when you're dead? Because you know what I know. I know you like I know myself. I know you like the back of my hand. I know you like a book. I know you inside out. I know you like you'll never know. You think I don't know whereof I speak? I know. I know the day will come, the day will dawn. Didn't I tell you, you never know? Because I guarantee it. I tell you, no one will dance a jig, no one will do a dance. No one will cater to you so fast, or cater to you hand and foot. Do you think they care if you live or die? But I could never get enough of it. I could never get enough. Look at me. I could take a bite out of it. I could eat it up alive. But you want to make a monkey out of me, don't you? You want me to talk myself blue in the face for you, beat my head against a brick wall for you, come running when you have the least little wish. What am I, your slave? You couldn't be happy except over my dead body. You think I don't know whereof I speak? I promise you one day you will sing a different tune. In the interim, first things first, it won't kill you to do without. Tomorrow is another day. Let me look at it, let me see it. There is no time like the present. Let me kiss it and make it better. Let me tell you something. Everyone in the whole wide world should only have it half as good as you do. You know what this is? You want to know what this is? Because this is some deal, this is some setup, this is some joke. You could vomit from what a joke this is. I want you to hear something. I want you to hear the unvarnished truth. I want you to hear it from me, right from the horse's mouth, from the one person who really cares. You know what you are? That's what you are. You sit, I'll go, I already had enough to choke a horse. Now, go ahead and talk my arm off, talk me deaf, dumb, and blind. Nobody's asking, nobody is telling, no one wants to know. In all decency, in all honesty, in all modesty, you have some gall, some nerve, and I mean that in all sincerity. I am telling you, I'm pleading with you, I am down to you on bended knee, just don't get cute with me. Just don't make any excuses to me, because in broad daylight, in the dead of night, at the crack of dawn, you think the whole world is going to do a dance around you. No one is going to do a dance around you. No one even knows you are alive. They don't know you from Adam. And if it's not one thing, then it is another. Just who do you think you are? Coming in here and lording it over all of us. Do you think you're a law unto yourself? I'm going to give you some advice. Don't flatter yourself. You are not the queen of the main, not by a long shot. At your age, share and share alike. Ages ago, years ago, so long ago I couldn't begin to remember. Past history, ancient history. You don't want to know. Another age, another life, another theory altogether. Don't ask. Don't even begin to ask. Don't make me any promises. Don't tell me one thing and make me do another. Don't look at me cross-eyed. Don't look at me like that. Don't hand me that crap. For pity's sake. Do you know that one hand washes the other? Talk sense. Take stock. Give me some credit for intelligence. Show me I'm not wasting my breath. Don't make me sick. You're making me sick. Why are you doing this to me? Do you get pleasure from doing this to me? Don't think I don't know what you're trying to do to me. Don't make me do your thinking for you. Shame on you. Be ashamed of yourself. Have you absolutely no decency of shame? Why must I always have to tell you? Why must I always have to drop everything and come running? Does nothing ever occur to you? Can't you see with your own two eyes? You are your own worst enemy. What's the sense in talking to you? I might as well talk to myself, say something. Try to look like you've got a brain in your head. You think this is a picnic? This is no picnic. Don't stand on ceremony with me. The whole world is not gonna step to your tune. I warn you, wake up before it's too late. You know what? A little birdie just told me. You know what? You have got a lot to learn, that's what. I can't hear myself talk. I can't hear myself think. I cannot remember from one minute to the next. Why do I always have to tell you again and again? I need to think. Now just let me catch my breath. Don't you ever stop to ask? I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what no one else will have the heart to tell you. I'm going to give you the benefit of my advice. You think the sun rises and sets on you, don't you? You should get down on your hands and knees and thank God. You should count your blessings. Why don't you look around yourself and really see for once in your life? You don't know when you're well off. You have no idea how the rest of the world lives. You are as innocent as the day you were born. You should thank your lucky stars. You should do your best to put it all out of your mind. Worry never got anybody anywhere. But by the same token, whatever you do, promise me this. Just promise me that you will do your best to keep an open mind. What do I say to you? Where do I start with you? How do I make myself heard? I don't know where to begin with you. I don't know where to start with you. I don't know how to impress on you the importance of every single solitary word. Thank God I'm alive to tell you. Thank God I am here to tell you. Thank God you've got someone to tell you. I only wish I could have been there to tell you. If there was only some way someone could tell you. If there was only someone here to tell you, but you don't want to listen. You don't want to learn. You don't want to know. You don't want to help yourself. You just want to have it your own sweet way. Who can talk to you? Can anybody talk to you? So far as you're concerned, the whole world could drop dead. You think death is a picnic? Death is no picnic. Face facts, don't kid yourself. People are trying to talk some sense to you. It's not all fun and fancy free. It's not all just high, wide, and handsome. It's not just a bed of roses and peaches and cream. You take the cake, you take my breath away. You were really one for the books, you know. Be smart and downplay it. Be smart and stay in the wings. Be smart and let somebody else carry the ball for a change. You know what I've got to do? I've got to talk to you like a baby. I've got to talk to you like a Dutch uncle. I've got to handle you with kid gloves. Just in case you didn't know. Let me tell you something no one will have the heart to tell you. Go ahead. Look far and wide, because they are few and far between. Go ahead. Go to the ends of the earth. Go to the highest mountain. Go to any length, because they won't lift a finger for you. Or don't you know that some things are not for man to know? That some things are better left unsaid? That some things you shouldn't wish on a dog. Not on a bet, not on your life, not on a month of Sundays. What do you want? You want the whole world to revolve around you. You want the whole world at your beck and call. That's what you want, isn't it? Be honest and let's be done with it. Be finished with it, over and done with. Enough, for crying out loud, enough! Answer me this one question. How can you look at me like this? Don't you dare act as if you didn't hear me. You want to know what's wrong with you? This is what's wrong with you. You were going to the dogs. You were lying down with dogs. You are waking, sleeping dogs. Don't you know enough to leave before the last dog is dead? When are you going to learn to leave well enough alone? You know what you are? Let me tell you what you are. You are betwixt and between. I want you. I've got your number. I can see right through you. I warn you, don't you dare try to put anything over me or get on my good side or lead me a merry chase. So, who's going to do your dirty work? You? Oh, sure, you think you could just rise above it all, but no one can live forever with his head in the clouds, in the woods, in a cave. With neither rhyme nor reason, without hope, without blemish, without a hitch, without a leg to stand on, without fail, without cause, without a little bit of butter on his bread. Pardon my French, but put up or shut up. Oh, we could just laugh in your face. Oh, you dirty Dickens, you. Will you just leave us in peace? All right. From Lording It Over.
Sounds good.
Well, don't look at me cross-eyed. Don't look at me like that. You should count your blessings. Why don't you look around yourself and really see for once in your life? Sorry, I'm off on those cues. Sorry, Cisco. I have no idea when that stops at all.
No worries. You did exactly the right thing.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Just one thing I want to keep. Let's keep, when we go into the warp, let's keep you moving.
Sure. Yeah. I didn't
side to side. Yeah. But do this for maybe just a side, and then maybe do like a separate yourself.
Okay. Sorry.
Exactly.
I'm a little confused.
Был бы зимний вечер пуст, если бы теплым пряным жаром не порадовал юг. Санта-Клаус загадочный, удивительный насколько.
everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Wow, I should have opened the window. Wow. Thanks again. Thanks for joining us here. It's our first performance of the new season. We are still undergoing this strange moment in history, and so we are still here. I'm not making any promises that will ever go away, but here we still are. I am going to get Katie Rose Mclaughlin and Francisco Graciano on Zoom, and we're all going to talk and have a little chat, and any questions you might have, please just put in the chat, and we will answer them. Yeah, feel free to ask anything you want about this week's process, about what we're doing in the future, or just in general about what it is to be making work at Theater in Quarantine. So I'm going to try and get them on Zoom, hopefully as quickly as possible. Also going to maybe go into performance mode and see if that helps things, because it's going to get a little jittery for a moment. Anyhow, thanks again for coming. If you're enjoying what you see, please subscribe to the channel. We've got a really amazing season coming up this month and next month into December 14th. In 2 weeks, we have a new, what we call long form, though of course long form's all a little relative these days, given certain attention span deficits that we're all dealing with. So we like to try and keep it under 40 minutes. But that is going to be a brand new adaptation of Chekhov's The Island of Sakhalin, which is one of Chekhov's only nonfiction works. And we are going to be doing that in 2 weeks. And let's see. Supposedly, I've done this correctly, but I need to have my headphones to do this correctly. So I have to go get those. Hold on. I know where they are. They're right here. All right. So, let's see. I guess I should also give you my video. Nope. There it is. All right. And we are now moving into the interview. But let me adjust my window capture. This part's always the least elegant portion of the evening. But there we are. Okay, we did it. Katie Rose and Cisco, say hello. Let's see if this is working.
Hello. Bravo, Josh.
It looks like it's working. All
yes.
right. Woo! There we go. So, hi. Let's I guess do introductions. Katie Rose, would you mind introducing Cisco? I've had the deep pleasure of working with both of you for the past 2 weeks, but I would love a moment to have a glass of or a sip of wine and a little bit of the dregs of this glass of water.
Yes. Drink as much water as you possibly can.
Thank you.
That's an exhausting program that we put together for you. It's such an honor to introduce Francisco Graciano, who is an incredible dancer that I've had the privilege of working with, and also amazing choreographer. I know Cisco from working with him at Dance Lab New York, which is this incredible program run by Josh Prince. He was a dancer in my cycle, which was just such a treat. I feel like we hit it off right away. Like, you very clearly got my vision. You're just sort of like a choreographer's dream dancer. So that's how I know Cisco. Cisco had just retired from Dancing with Paul Taylor for over 10 years. He was also one of Dance Magazine's 25 to Watch. Just thrilling. We're just like so honored and so happy to have you here at Theater in Quarantine.
I know. I'm I'm in New York. I'm in day 5 of my quarantine, and I'll be out October 5th, 14th. So I'm celebrating with. There's a couple of cats back here. You'll see darting around. Yes, I'm Cisco Graciano. Just a quick little bio. I danced with Taylor for 11 years and the second company for 2 years. And then I met Katie Rose, which we Dance Lab New York in the fall of 2017. And as she said, we hit it off. She's amazing. And we stayed in touch. And she reached out and inquired if I would be interested in working with these incredible talents. And I took one look at what Josh was doing, and I thought, like, what an incredible honor it would be. So here I am. I've had the esteemed privilege to work with Josh, an amazing creator and artist, and it's really been an honor and a testament to his just will and drive to like keep art, in performance art in this pandemic. I just want to say publicly to your face, Josh, that I'm a huge admirer of what you're doing. So, that's my thing. But ask away.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you. And it's been an absolute pleasure getting to work with you as well. Well, we have a question already, so I guess I'll just jump in and we should answer. So this one comes from Ada, who Ada, of course, is a dear friend of Theater in Quarantine. Ada is our stage manager, and Ada's asked, where did all the text come from? So Cisco, tell us a little bit about The Merry Chase.
Absolutely. So The Merry Chase, I discovered this text long ago in the day when I wanted to be an actor in high school. I used a section of it for my auditions for several theater programs all over. And I just fell in love with it. And I ended up actually studying dance in college instead. And I used a little bit of it in the first piece that I choreographed, this solo that I choreographed. And I've just always had a connection to it. And Let It Go, that solo was made in 97, 96. And I let it go, didn't even, bat an eye at it again. And then when this opportunity came my way, I thought like, wow, like what a cool thing to work with an actor, like the person I thought I saw myself as for a long time. And this text just like came back into my head out of nowhere. And I have it runs through my mind once in a while because I really took a lot of, I took it really, really seriously when I was when I was an actor in high school, and when I was using it for my monologue and my solo, and I just wanted to go a little bit further into it. So the text is by a man named Gordon Lish. Gordon Lish is still alive, but famously or infamously known for being famous for all the wrong reasons. He is the editor behind the major writers of abstract literature that you may or may not have heard of. He is an icon, and I didn't know too much about him until this project came around, and I started thinking I should really figure out who this guy is and what his background is. So he's one of those just diehard writers who famously was known for, oh gosh, now the name is slipping from me. Famous abstract literature author submitted his work to let Mr. Lish edit his work. 3 pages was completely X'd out to 3 sentences. And Gordon Lish handed it back to him and said, this is what the work is about. Now take it back. And there's a lot of instances like that. So, and as you can tell, the literature itself is, it's highly refined. It's highly refined. There's not a gratuitous moment in there at all. It is literature, but I think it's really appropriate as a monologue in the context of theater. So yeah, that's my spiel.
That's so cool. I didn't know the story of that. That's so great. I love those like pieces of things that like stick with us and like don't find the place to fully realize themselves until much later.
Yeah.
And you really did sort of present it to me as a piece about time. And I really I think because you've spent so much time with it, it's really wonderful how you brought that to the story.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a question about, speaking of time, from Lane over here says, 2 weeks ain't a lot of time. Though, of course, I realize you all could be workshopping multiple pieces at once. What's the typical proportional balance between idea development and technical logistics? Good question.
Such a good question. So for Closet Works, which is what we performed tonight, which is our short form series, all the artists only get 2 weeks to make the pieces. Our choreographers get 16 hours of rehearsal time, which usually ends up being like 4 hours or 4 rehearsals for 2 hours. And then we have a big dress rehearsal all together. Which is to say not very much time, but also the pieces are quite short. And then our longer form pieces, we start rehearsals sort of in earnest 2 weeks out, but also, so like our next show, which is in 2 weeks, we've been doing script development. We've had design meetings. We've been basically sort of rehearsing sometimes. For other pieces that we've done, we've definitely had rehearsals months before the pieces. Like you guys were rehearsing Seventh Voyage for
months,
a long time.
Yeah.
And even like Footnote, which was our most recent full length, was rehearsing at least a month out.
Well, it was being composed a month out. Yeah. Well, and I think our third piece of the evening tonight, Etude for an Enumerator, the classic title, is in some ways a study for movement for the piece in 2 weeks. So that's sort of a way that we're rehearsing, but not necessarily rehearsing the piece itself. That being said, we use tech from day one. In fact, Cisco, you presented us with we basically like tore the space. You presented us with the text. We started talking about what might be possible, what sort of effects you were interested in. And we rehearse over Zoom using this. Well, I'll actually just frame out the closet exactly the way the audience experiences it. And that's how we rehearse and build the pieces. So there isn't really a separation between tech and rehearsal. The way there usually is in a process. Yeah.
And also just like saying that you are also the the person doing all the tech, so that there's not there's not other people there's other designers working on it, but you're doing all of the like actual physical programming too.
Yeah, usually. Sometimes I'm fortunate enough to have a designer who wants to jump in on the programming end, but no, most of the time it's me, which of course does make it a sort of creative expression that like we can collaborate in rehearsal together, and we can just sort of jump off ideas, and it's not always the fastest process, but it is reciprocal, and that's what's really exciting about it. And just to answer Eric's question, the ladder was found. Not made or bought. The ladder was found on the street in a pile of trash. And I believe it's just around the corner from my apartment. And John Levin, who directed Seventh Voyage, was really excited about having a ladder. And I thought it was probably a terrible idea, but to spite him, I picked it up out of the trash and put it in the closet. And then we ended up not even using a ladder. So, but now I have this ladder, and it's great. I love it.
Such a great prop. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite beautiful.
And Lane says, neat tech is development. Thanks for thoughtful, thorough response. Well, thank you for asking such a thoughtful, thorough question.
Yeah.
And for checking this out. Katie Rose, so you did 2 pieces this week. 2 new pieces this week.
2 new pieces. 3 new pieces.
Where, like, how? Okay, so we've done 3 new pieces this week. Usually we do a revival or a remount of an old piece, but since it's the kickoff of the season, we thought we'd do 3 new ones. Katie Rose, what's it like making, like, with the expectation of making something new in the closet every 2 weeks?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Yeah.
I find it thrilling, and mostly because the closet rewards being present and being honest and just sort of the like showing up and trying things. Oh, and being responsive. I feel like that's actually like the closet really rewards being responsive. So a way that I actually really like to work is to come in with a small idea and then to play around with ideas and see what the piece actually wants to be, see what sticks. So it's really fun to work with you in this way, where often you'll come to me with an idea, like the first piece where you're like, look at this cool effect I have. What is it? What can we do with it? And to play around with that.
That was, I believe, with that effect in the first piece, we were working on a separate piece, and that just happened, and we were sort of like, what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just spent a like 20 minutes of that rehearsal for another piece, being like, look at this cool thing. And then we're like, we're not going to use it, but when we need to make another piece, we'll use it. And we actually ended up like taking that whole piece, the whole big piece that we made, and just we'll put that on the shelf for later and just use this tiny little 20-minute thing, part of rehearsal, which was really exciting.
Sometimes you got to follow the joy, right?
I think that's totally it. And I actually think that is like, if I had an artist statement, I think that that's what it would be, is that you just have to follow the joy. Yeah, exactly. That like, the process should be fun, even if the work you're making isn't like, a happy piece or whatever, even if you're dealing with like very difficult things.
I like you trying to define that first piece as being like happy or not happy. I think of it in the sense of an amoeba. It just sort of is.
What I was trying to say, though, is that like throughout the rehearsal process, regardless of what you're working on, you should always follow the joy. Even if you're making a really, really sad piece, you have to follow the joy in it to figure out. I just believe very strongly in that, in the way I run a rehearsal room and the way I sort of exist as an artist. I think that that's really important to me. And so that's been particularly exciting about this. Like we followed our joy and then we made an amoeba piece.
What's its title again? I kind of forget.
Something about clicks or clecks.
It's not kleptography. That would be like the study of stealing things.
Klectographics?
Kleptomaniac?
No.
Yeah.
It's the study of what does that word mean again?
Oh no, it's the art form of ink blots.
Of interpreting ink blots, or just making art with ink blots?
Making art with ink blots.
I see.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I will also say something that I'm interested in is the fact that this is our first piece of improv. Actually, I think that it's my choreographic debut of improv.
Whoa.
I specifically do not work with improv. Cisco's worked with me before and knows that I'm just like, do this piece of choreography. And sometimes I'm like, oh, will you try it backwards? Will you try it upside down? Will you try it in a different way? But I generally am a very like step-oriented choreographer. So this is the first time that I've ever I gave Josh a score. He has his in-ear in and I am talking to him. And I don't know what he's going to do. And so that's the first time that that I've actually, as a choreographer, ever used that tool. And the first time that we've definitely ever done it in theater and quarantine.
So you're giving him prompts in
his
ear.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's
yeah. So the same way, and this is a cool little fun fact too about Cisco's piece, is that Josh, is it okay that I'm saying this?
Yeah, everyone knows. It's the dirty secret of theater in quarantine.
The dirty secret of theater in quarantine is that Josh doesn't memorize any of his text. That he records it and then he feeds it to himself in a Bluetooth earpiece. And
there's a lot of reasons for this. there's a lot of reasons, including technical ones, such as like making sure everything stays automated and on the same track. So if I don't have, so if I don't have access to my like go button, it's much easier timing wise just to make sure I'm, you know, staying on task.
And also because of lag and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, John Gasper is laughing.
Good. John Gasper, who made the music for the first piece.
Whatever it's called.
Something it starts with a K.
Yeah.
But that is to say that that Josh uses the in-ear for all of the text that he does. And so we use that tool that Josh is quite good at in the first piece too. So that I recorded myself giving a prompt that's like the length of the piece. And then he's like live move into it, which is really cool.
So Katie Rose, do you have these prompts for, I'm still like in the prompt world right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have these prompts set and then you kind of read them, or are you just like, I'm going to jazz it, like whatever comes to me? Like a jazz.
I'm not live prompting him.
Oh, okay. So that's what I thought.
Didn't you two watch the show together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were very serious.
Oh, okay.
I took this job.
That's the 9 o'clock show will just us be just like talking smack. But no, and that's I sort of also didn't like I didn't want to tell Cisco about the first piece, so
surprise.
Surprise.
Surprise. Well, I was blown away by the fact that what you did. Wow, what a day, what a week. Incredible.
What a day, what a week.
What a day, what a week. It's my new song.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Amazing. I believe Cisco is referring to the fact that Katie Rose and I excised a piece last night, and put in this new piece in the first slot. And again, it's just like sometimes the ideas are great and they're just not there yet. And 2 weeks is not always a lot of time to flesh out something the way you want it to be. And so if you can find something else that excites you, why not try it out? And it's been really fun. I mean, looking back to some of our kaleidoscopic studies, it's kind of exciting to just play with a tool in a short form and then expand upon it, and then kind of try and turn it into something that's maybe a little bit more refined if we need to. I mean, I think what I love about that piece, if I could remember the word, is that in a way, like randomness and the fluidity and the flux is sort of key to the art form. You know, drop ink blots, you fold them, and it's art. And so in some ways, I do think we're echoing the art form pretty literally. And so that's kind of fun.
KLECKSOGRAPHIC study.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
This is what happens when you come up with a title for your piece at like 5 p.m. before a 7 p.m. show.
Yeah.
It's what happens when you don't need to print programs too, is that you can just like really push it to the last minute and let the piece sort of speak to you. Like we had started coming up at it with ideas, I feel like around 4, but it like didn't quite hit.
It's
until
true.
It did, and then we got it.
And it may not have hit yet because we don't remember it.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point.
My favorite so far is it starts with a K.
That's a good title. Maybe we should just change the title to "It Starts with a K."
It's a good title.
Josh, I have a quick question for you.
Oh, sure.
Physically, you're not trained as a professional dancer, yet you have a really astute awareness of how to move your body in space, I think, from working with you and seeing your other work with Katie Rose. Where does that come from? What sort of background in movement study do you have?
It's a lot of musical theater, of course. A lot of, I guess I should probably not underestimate like the karate aspect of my childhood.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, that Commedia dell'arte, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, that's really, I think, where it comes from, and viewpointing and all of that, of course. So just sort of a broad range of dipping my toes into a lot of different types of processes, and also from an academic standpoint, I have like a deep passion for 19th century melodrama. And like that kind of performance, and the aesthetics of and physical aesthetics of reciting in the 18th, 19th century. So it all kind of comes together in a fun way, and that's sort of, I guess, where my body comes from. Plus, now I'm dancing every 2 weeks, so and getting to work with choreographers like you, who. Again, I don't have dance training, so it's just sort of exciting to be taken seriously in this way, though I have been, for certain, laughed off of a dance call floor at least once in my life.
No, really?
Well, I've told you that story. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh,
yeah.
You should tell us all that story one more time.
Oh, one more time? One more time, then we'll do final questions and we'll take a break before the 9 p.m. So when Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was on Broadway, my mother approached the stage manager, I guess outside the stage door, and handed the stage manager my headshot and said, "You should cast my son, Josh."
I don't remember the beginning of that story.
See, it's a better story that way. And it's true. And so the stage manager called me, or I got an email, said, "Hey, come to this dance call." And it's just
Did you go to was it a non-EC dance call?
I don't know. I don't remember the details of it. But I mean, it was like everyone in a room and we learned the combo. So there was no waiting or anything like that. Yeah, and we got in the room, we learned the combo. It involved props. There was
really?
a giant stick that we had to dance with.
Did they give you sticks?
Yeah, they gave us sticks.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a little humiliating. Because if there's one thing we know about the theater in quarantine, it's that I don't have much of a memory. So...
Okay. So, but what's the end of that story about the laughing?
Oh, I think we had to do across the floor routines or something. Everyone was like, "Okay, now's the time for all of you to do your tricks," and we had to go across the floor one by one. And I had nothing.
What did you do?
Oh, I'm sure I did something completely terrible, and everyone laughed, and then I left. That's it.
But you laughed because you did something funny, I bet.
But I don't think it was that fun. It was not good. It was really terrible. If it was really funny, I would have probably stuck it out. But suffice to say, I never got cast in Chitty Chitty Bang Bangs.
And they closed without you.
Yeah.
So Cisco, you're back in New York for a bit.
Back here, yeah.
We're all stuck, but what are your plans in your stuckness, and what are you excited for right now?
Well, I'm doing a lot of getting back to some reading, finishing a book. It's nice to have all this time to reflect again. Because I left grad school to go to San Antonio to be with my family for a little bit and help out, and you get that time again to, like, I'm writing like a fiend, reading again and getting back into my gyrokinesis practice. So a lot of it is like getting back to centering back into my own self and kind of listening and trying to get that Gordon Lish text sort of, that related sort of text to quiet down a little bit, the mind noise. That's where I'm at now during my quarantine. And then once I get out of the quarantine, I've got a couple of dance films I'm choreographing for that are sort of in the works. And just trying to not get COVID and wear a mask everywhere and not touch anything while I'm here. That's, but that's and reunite with friends from 14, 15 feet away. So, that's where I'm at. It's just nice to be back, and this is my home for 19 years, and then I moved away for 2 years for grad school and expected to come back this summer, and here we are. So reuniting with New York is like a big, a very profound moment for me.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Yeah, and you came with a bang. A chitty bang.
Chitty
bang.
A chitty
No.
I don't know. I feel like there's a theater in quarantine piece in there somewhere.
I'm gonna do all of chitty bang bang next week.
Josh, yeah. In the comments, Ada said that her professor at Columbia was the stage manager of Chitty Bang Bang.
We're gonna bring in the whole team.
So I think we can make this happen.
Fantastic. I look forward to it.
You should go take a break, Josh.
It's time. It's time. So we've got a 9 p.m. show. We have a couple people still around. If you want to, please share the link to the 9 p.m. show. It's right on the channel. While you're there, subscribe. We'd love to see a big crowd at the 9 p.m. We've got a new season. It's some really incredible stuff. We thank you again for coming. I want to thank Francisco Graciano. I want to thank Katie Rose Mclaughlin. I want to thank all the other designers and artists who worked on this tonight, and amazing people, and Ada, of course. And anyway, gosh, this is still going.
And Lucienne at
Invisible
Dog.
Thank you. And Lucienne at the Invisible Dog, and Mamie Kanfer, and Justin Stewart. Excuse me, that was a wine burp. For joining, for supporting us with Closet Works, continuing to support us. And come next 2 weeks from now, October 19th, we have Notes from an Enumerator or 1,500 rubles and a revolver. That is 2 weeks from now, and we got a very big surprise for you in store. Very big, really amazing. Check it out. I'm Joshua William Gelb, still in the closet, probably going to be in here for a while now. Have a great night, and be strong, be safe, stay well. Bye.